Okay, did it just start? Right now, I just showed up on the website. I've been waiting for it to say live. It just did. So I don't know, but it took a while. Did. Okay. Let me take this off. Hopefully, it sounds better. Let me say something. Hopefully, it sounds better. Let me say something. Hopefully, it sounds better. Let me say something. Hmm. Okay, where is my headphones? There we go, they're my headphones. That way there's no echo. This is relatively quick. It's not gonna be anything big. Let's see. Okay, I think that's good. Yeah, it is good. Yeah, okay. If only I can cut the first 2 minutes, but whatever. Okay. So last I did this drawing of Jerry, right? I have done previously also. Wait, what is this? Let's see, let's go back to my gallery. Right, I did Jari, I did Rilo, Sienna, and Yo. Those are all quick drawings, whatever. Didn't want to spend too much time on them. The one thing right now, what I'm doing is kind of like pre-production, right? I want to get all my ideas together, everything, before I start no, I just want to another sketch that I did. This one, but I didn't finish it, right? I mean, I think I already showed the other ones, right? I really like how this one came out, but yeah, I just wanted to show those sketches. New, don't save. Also underneath the image, there's the link to the video of the stream that I did, right? It's over here, video of me drawing it, and some spoilers for the game, and how it was drawn, sort of, right? That's the video. Anyway, so that's what I did last. One thing I've been doing is kind of working on my website at bluestar03.com. Right now there's not much. Right, this is an itch.io test. I want to see if I can embed an itch.io something in there. So I don't know if I'm gonna be using itch.io. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not too entirely sure how to do it. It's just a stress test. The number on top is how many objects there are. The number on the bottom is the frame rate. And on the right, the top number was the maximum number of objects while maintaining a stable frame rate. The top one is for a 60 frames per second, and the bottom one is for a 30 frames per second. So as you can see, it's still holding 30, and it's going to 1,100 and something objects, and it's still stable. Right, still at 30 frames per second, and that's basically a stress test. Down here, I may end up using it. On Sketchfab, I have this model uploaded. Right, this is a model of Yol. Right, again, it will be this guy. So here we have Joel, and on this occasion he had Corley boots, but I decided to change it to discount boots instead. But anyway, this is just to try out some stuff on WordPress. I'm gonna be working on it. One main thing is, as you can see over here, is CHronicle Destiny. Basically, here is what I want to put everything about CHronicle Destiny, its development and everything. Right now. One thing that I want to do is, first let me close this, is basically the game design document. Mainly right now is the pitch document. Like I said, like pre-production, sort of gathering all the ideas together, and I want to display them here. I'm trying to figure out how to display them. Right, I have a book. Where is that book? Wait a sec. Okay, that's right, man. I really need to go to sleep. It's 7:34. I need to wake up at around 2, not later than 2. But anyway, I have this book called Game Design Second Edition. Let me see if it's at Amazon. Well, it's called, yeah, Game Design by Bob Bates. It wasn't typing. Okay, here we go. I have this one. Is it this one? Yeah. Oh, 409. Whatever. It looks like it, so I believe it is this one. One thing that this book has describes the game design document and all that kind of stuff, the pitch document, so I'm kind of using that as a reference. Additionally, I have found this effectively organizing your game development with a game design document over in Envato Tuts Plus. I think they used to be called Tuts Plus or something like that. It says Touch Plus over here as a website. Meaning that I have been here before, kind of. Anyway, I found this, and it has a nifty, similar to what's on that book, but different. And as it says here, there is no static form to make this kind of document. No such thing as a perfect formula. So mainly, like, I'm using aspects of both examples to create this game design document, this pitch document first, sort of. I don't know. Anyway, and also one thing over here, Wolfire Games. I've basically been watching this for a very long time. Not as close to 2005, but yeah. And I like how they documented basically every step they did, and that's something I kind of want to do. Right? They like documented everything. Well, I don't know if everything, but just about everything. So I kind of want to do something like this, right over here on my website. The design document, as you can see, kind of concept design, art, technical sections for Chronicle Destiny, right? Design, I have story, environments, characters. Right now, I don't know exactly how it will end up being. And this is like the latest page, and they have a YouTube to watch, basically. And they've been doing that for a very long time. Here's a YouTube video of their previous update, and the previous update, and so on and so forth. Right, the previous update, and the previous, so on and so forth. Anyway, so more exactly what I've been working is this PowerPoint, this presentation. I don't have it complete, and once it's completed, it will be its own video, right? So let me just, basically what I want to do with this stream is just simply go with what I have already. Like I said, it's not final. May add, subtract things, or change some stuff, but whatever. Let me just, is the streaming continuing, or what am I showing? What is it showing, actually, now that I think? Oh, it's showing the other view. Swap percent, there we go. Okay. Okay, so whatever, let's begin. This is the Chronicle SD. I don't know, maybe I will change the laser pointer. Zoom. Huh, interesting. What else does it have? Pen, so I can write. Highlight doesn't really work. Erase all ink on the slide, but let's go with laser pointer. Zoom. Anyway, yeah, I may change this to a pitch document or something like that. But anyway, next slide. Let me see if this works. No, it doesn't. On the Surface Pen, I'm working on a Surface. I thought that like the, or maybe over here. Let's see. No. The clicking the eraser will advance the PowerPoint. Maybe there's a setting for it, but whatever. Project overview, right? The first part. High concept. Hopefully, I'm not so sure. I shortened from what I had previously. So, Chronicle Destiny is an adventure action game where the story will not stop for the player to decide what to do next. Maybe, yeah, I should maybe add next. Where the story will not stop for the player to decide what to do. Key features: uninterrupted controls, uninterrupted control, time-based storytelling, real-time dialogue, short story gameplay, and new fantasy. Right, those are the key features for Chronicle Destiny. So with uninterrupted control, what I mean is that the player has full access to all available actions as soon as they gain control of the character. So yeah, when you press start, new game, whatever, and then it will take you direct, like right into the character, and as soon as you have control to the character, it will be everything kind of. And well, control is never taken away during gameplay, and there are no cutscenes. Actually, one inspiration on this is the Half-Life series, right? As soon as you gain control of Gordon Freeman, they don't take it away from you for anything. There's no cutscenes or whatever. And I kind of like that kind of I want to say artistry, because they are like big set pieces going on, but is the player who basically controls the vantage point, the point of view. While it's going on, you can be watching the floor for all that and miss everything. But the developers kind of put cues around so that they make sure that when it happens, you're looking at it. Right? They might put some random I forgot which one. Okay, but in one of them, you're inside the citadel, and then you get shot. Right? There's a combined soldier shooting at you from a distance, and so your natural reaction will be to turn towards that soldier, to wherever you're being shot from, and try to see what you can do. And moments later, there's this huge, for lack of a better term, helicopter. It's not a helicopter, it's some sort of organic helicopter that's crashing about. So that soldier is there, so the player will turn the character that way, and then they can see what's supposed to be a cutscene. Right? The player can still not look at the soldier, and thus will miss the helicopter crashing. And they do all that kind of stuff throughout Half-Life, at least Half-Life 2, Half-Life 2 Episode 1 and Episode 2. I haven't really played Half-Life 1, but I believe they do similar things. Time-based storytelling. NPCs will not wait indefinitely for players. NPCs have their own timelines. Players' interactions with NPC change depending on what point of their timelines the action happens. The main thing about this one is kind of like Majora's Mask, right? everybody there has a timeline for all 3 days, and the interactions might be different depending when you talk to them. And one main thing is that time will keep on skipping into the future. We'll keep going, right? Usually, like during gameplay, you're heading up to the final boss, and the final boss is on top of the tower, and like you can take all the time you want in the world, and the boss will still be up there, right? Again, and the Legend of Zelda on Ocarina of Time, right? Ganon is waiting, playing on his organ for ages until you show up, basically. But that won't happen. They are the NPCs have their own stuff to do. If they're gonna be playing the organ, they'll play the organ, and then until they're done, and then move on to the next thing. Real-time dialogue. Dialogue does not happen in a separate mode. Dialogue controls are always available during normal gameplay. Player can initiate, join, interrupt, ignore, and leave conversations. NPCs can do the same. Commands are issued with the same system. I got the inspiration of this one in Rainbow Six, the one for GameCube. I think there's other games that do it as well, but I first noticed it on Rainbow Six. I also think Advanced Warfighter also has it. Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. What I mean is, on those games, not on Advanced Warfighter, but on Ghost Recon, there's a button to issue commands. Like you hold it, like you control your squad mates. And basically you tell them to like line up to the door. When the door opens, gonna throw a flashbang and then clear the room, basically. And you can set them up on another door and have like a on Zulu flashbang and clear. And that's so basically, in a way, that's kind of like communicating to your squad mates. And something similar, like a ring of dialogue options that's activated with a button, and that ring is always available. That's how you do dialogue, that's how you do commands, and that's always available. It will not go to a different dialogue mode. Normally when you talk to an NPC, it goes to a different mode. Instead, now the control stick no longer moves the character, but rather chooses selects which dialogue option you want to go with. If you want to answer yes or want to answer no, the control stick now is used to select those options and not necessarily to move the character. And the action button no longer swings the weapon, but confirms the selection. Right, so none of that. Right, even while you're talking, you can still move, you can still attack, you can still do everything else. Short story gameplay. So the player can choose from a selection of stories to play with. Each story should take no more than 30 minutes to complete. Each story does not need to be related to each other. So basically, you play, the game starts, you play new game, whatever, and basically you get a selection of stories, which story you want to play, right? basically it's gonna be more characters than stories, but each character has their own story, and you play that story. One thing that kind of being that one of the target platforms is mobile, and mobile is good for like short sessions. So that's why I thought that like doing short stories will work. Right? You just turn on the game and play one story. It's basically like a mission. Let's say on Grand Theft Auto, a single mission will be the story. And also one thing that also allows is that since it's a short story, you can it's easier to design all the branching path uh, that may happen, rather than doing on a long 4-hour story where all the branching paths are gonna be. Right? It's gonna be a lot of them. Well, in the short story, it's gonna be less branching path. Maybe I should also put somewhere that there are branching paths. New fantasy. It will introduce a new fantasy. Minimal explanation in this title will be explored further in future titles. But as it was shown on the previous 4 streams that I sketched characters, those characters clearly are fantasy characters, but not necessarily of any established fantasy lore, right? Right, there are no elves, there's no orcs, there's no halflings or anything like that, or anything similar. There's no like cat people. Well, actually, technically there is, but whatever. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Though they're not actually cats, as a matter of fact, I think that because I made those people resemble cats, there are no cats, because it'll be kind of weird. Then again, there's humans and monkeys and apes, whatever. Anyway, but yeah, it's a new fantasy, and with minimal explanation. I mean that there will be like no explanation of anything that's not needed. You know, like when you start Pokemon, it starts with a welcome in the world of Pokemon and a brief explanation of what Pokemon is, how Pokemon are used, and so forth and so forth, right? And like, this is Peloton, something new beginnings, and but basically as you start the game, it starts establishing the lore of the world. And this one, since the characters are expected to know the world, they're not explained to the player. So like, for example, one of the characters in Arya, in the Aryans levitate. Nowhere is gonna say like, as you know, as an Arya I levitate to move faster, or like something like that. No. Or anything like that. So next, I was thinking of doing like the first minute, like describe how it goes. I haven't written anything in it. Probably go something like basically from the, I will give out the splash screen, whatever. Go to the initial menu. From there, it's gonna let you choose the story you want to play. After you choose the story, it's gonna place you in the role of that character. And moments after you start the game, after you start the story, there will be another character that will basically point you to a direction. But from there on, it's up to the player whether to basically follow that arrow or not. So the player is always free to do whatever they want. But to begin with, a direction is established for them to follow, and basically for them to follow and for them to choose how to follow it. Um, and then after that, basically depending on the story, different things happen. Over here, I wanted to talk to bit about the graphics. Uh, Over here, I got a couple interesting games. The ones here on the left are Mega Man Zero. One thing I like about Mega Man Zero is kind of like how they kind of look like hand drawn. I kind of like that look. I don't think this screenshot makes it justice. I couldn't find one that I wanted to use. But like these mugshots look like they're hand drawn. And to an extent also the sprites. On this second set of Mega Man Battle Networks and Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories, those two games are of an isometric perspective, and that's something I would like to explore. And I just noticed that this poster is a duo from Mega Man 8. Anyway, to do it in an isometric perspective, one main thing about that, in contrast to like a standard top-down, is that in an isometric perspective, you can have up to 3 sides of something showing. Over here, you have 2 sides. Like, well, technically, yeah, 3 sides. Technically, 2. Let's say this bed over here, you can see 2 sides of it. If it were a standard top down, you will only be able to see one side. You may either see this one or this side, but not both on a regular top down like Zelda games. But on isometric, you can see 2 sides, right? You can see this one and you can see this one. So it basically allows more detail to be shown than can be possible on a standard top-down point of view. And over here we have Grandia. One thing about it, the characters are sprites. They're billboards that exist on this 3D world, in this plane, and basically, if possible, that's something I would like to pursue, right? To push this isometric view more into a 3D view, so the camera will be able to rotate. Maybe still keep it at the same angle, but be able to rotate the camera, so not only you'll be able to see these 2 sides of the bed, but the other 2 sides of the bed as well. Concept document, I put some stuff here. The 4 stories, part 2. So the next thing I was gonna basically a summary of the stories, right? Of Yol, Sienna, Judy, Jari, not Judy. Judy is another character. Jari and Rilo. And yeah, so that's so far what I have. Like I said, I may add more, I may delete some stuff depending on what's needed. I know one thing that you're gonna need is, let's see, like over here, Actually, wait. No, it's on the book. Sorry, it's not here. It's on the book. But basically, like I think it kind of have described it. Basically, the genre, the platforms, and all that kind of stuff. More technical things. Uh, hey, I have the book here. Project document, the pitch document. There's a high concept, the genre, gameplay, features, settings, story, target audience, hardware platforms, estimated schedule, competitive analysis. Yeah, a lot of stuff I won't be able to do because I have no way to analyze competitiveness or to estimate a schedule and budget. I don't know the target audience, risk analysis. But anyways, things like that. So yeah, this week I will be working on basically pre-production, getting this PowerPoint presentation finished, and also, like I said, organize this part of the website. One thing that I want to do is that on this page of Chronicle SD, there will be the prototype here. Or maybe also make it a separate page, but basically there will be the prototype similar how it is here in HIO. I mean, that's what I wanted to test here. Maybe I can host the prototype in HIO, but I could just simply upload it to my site rather than HIO and embed it over here. Anyway, I am way overdue to sleeping. I should have been asleep at 7, but now I'm gonna go to sleep at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. Should be good amount of sleep, but actually I wanted to wake up a little bit early, maybe around 1 at the latest, 12. Anyway, yeah, that's all I want to say today.